That's what you do. You buy these clothes that cost money and make a difference in it. But we never do that.
Never complains, gets up, gets on, with a smile on his face.
You just want you to sit in your chair and go, hip hip hooray, to the Western press and the Western narrative, regurgitating the same old, same old, same old, every single day, without the sun. If you haven't seen it before, please watch the first two episodes, the second series, something like that. Stallone.
We are on the site of the castle.
And it was the first time the Beatles had really stopped being semi-professional almost.
Look at that.
Absolutely fascinating.
It's not all the time. Hiya everyone, it always comes up a little picture. And no problems getting on tonight today. Anyway, I'm here. It's Friday. It's everything. The unfortunate thing is I thought I was going to do some UFOs tonight. Jason must have forgot to put my pictures up. He must have forgot to put my pictures in. He's been busy this week, to be honest. So I won't be putting them up, but I will be doing a lot of things, to be honest. I've got to talk about corruption, corruption in politics, democracy in politics. So I'll be talking about that. And I know what yous are talking about right away. You can see it. First thing, see, bang. But I'll have to go through. But I just want to say something to my to my history class who was looking in. The history pod that was looking in the other night. And I did mention about a building or buildings that was pulled down to make way for a precinct, which is absolutely ridiculous. They pulled that down, right? But I've got the proper picture of it. They pulled that. Oh, come on. They pulled that down, right? Because if you know Liverpool, St John's Lane, this particular thing went right around to St John's Lane. That's the curve on it there. Right, so, but I've got this picture here. See, now there's the precincts at the bottom with a stupid big screen. Look at the state of that compared to the top. What you had, that was like when you go into Piccadilly Circus, there's a massive clock, there was neon signs. Beautiful. Beautiful. It was. And there's that particular building, as I mentioned, first and foremost, that went right down. Right, you know, not right down St John's Lane, obviously, but it went down there. Beautiful building. Pulled it down for that monstrosity, what you're seeing now. We destroyed it. We destroyed half of Lime Street for that monstrosity there. Because I said to Jason, I said, yeah, I'll have a look at that, yeah. He said, okay. I said, can you put it up? He said, yeah. But he forgot to put up the UFOs. There's a great night to talk about. Really did. Besides the corruption, whatever. But anyway, I know what you lot are going on about. Callum. Bates has chosen the Reds. Edward, we have the pull. Carries on by saying the internet has gone mad. Edward again. I said Slot will have more pull once he wins the league, says Edward. And happy Friday. Campione. Callum. Yes. Florian. Oh. Florian. I want to believe. No one signed anything yet, boys. Don't forget. I never forget Bellingham. Oh, coming to Liverpool. Yeah. Even his parents were up here looking at places. Simon. Good evening, Don Franco. Sorry for going off topic, but I wanted to get your thoughts on the breaking Florian Wirtz news that we are in for a good summer after all. Look, yeah, but look, how many times as players, it's all right choosing, and Liverpool offering what they want. Remember Casino? Remember him? Yeah, he's coming here. And then we're offering the money. Then there was a bidding war. Please, let's be made up. I'm made up. I wanted him. I wanted Kvaratskhelia. If anyone, I wanted that lad. Brilliant. I wanted Nkapi. What a play. Kvaratskhelia, what a play. Wirtz is great, don't get me wrong. Please don't get me wrong. But let's wait and see. Oh, lovely, Lynn. I hope your back's okay, Lynn, honestly. Evening, Frank. Evening, Lynn. Callum. McAllister, Szoboszlai, Wirtz. Off our new number 10s. Yeah, our new number 10, says Callum. Yeah. I'm glad you're back, Red Birds. We were worrying last night. God blame if anyone goes off, we worry. Even Darwin, the goat, we worry about it. Just in case. And the Scottish Bear. My eyes going, this side. Cool. I'm in a terrible state, But a soldier on. You lot. And I'm glad because my mate came down today. A good friend of mine, he's ex-colleague, came down and he said, he phoned me up, he said, do you fancy going for lunch? And I said, yeah, great. So anyway, he's a great fella, Steve. But I was in such pain, I couldn't go. But he sat and had a great chat. We were talking about everything, putting the world to rights. And then my daughter came down, Francine. She's never honest to God, she's never popped it, ever. Just on the off chance. And she popped it. She said, hey, Dad. I was shocked. So I thought I'd just pay her a visit for half an hour. I think she must have been into town somewhere. Then she was going for Sophia. picking her up, the baby, from school. So it was not a bad little day I had. Well, for an hour or so, really good. It's the Redbird. Hello, Redbird. Oh, great. Anfield Road. Even if Frankie had chat, Frankie, I've ordered my flow shirt for next season, then I'll get the number. What size did you say you want for Frankie? I bet you Sophia, she'll go like that. I want this fella, granddad. Because I'm buying her a shirt, I'm buying her a shirt. So I think with the likes of this vests, I think everyone will be getting them, the new shirts, if he comes, that is. Once he signs. I hope so. I really hope so. He deserves something. The Redbird. They destroy beauty to give us ice shots. On my head, I should be wearing their sunglasses, I've got prescription ones there. I don't want anyone, take, oh, look at this posing bastard, and I'm not really. Edwards Flo is on his way, says the Anfield Road. Where are you, Simon says, guys, was I the only person last night actually believed the way was going to happen? They used to say a week was a long time in politics and can change in 24 hours. That's brilliant, that. And I'll tell you for why. Because I'm talking about Trump and Rubio here and politics, how corrupt it is. That's good, that, and you're right. Dorothy, Dorothy. Absolutely agree, Frank. An absolute abomination put up in place of beautiful architecture. It is an abomination. I got in trouble for all that, I'm going back a few years ago. And it was about Commutation Row. Commutation Row was built in the 1700s, the 18th century. Early part and the middle part. And I think the end one on the London Road side, that was built around 1780. That was the last one to go in. Excuse me. So anyway, I was having murder with them. I was saying, you're pulling it down. And the Catatali buildings at the bottom of Duke Street, what they did. They said, oh no, we're pulling it down, but rebuilding it. I said, just fucking strengthen it. Sorry to swear, Dorothy. But that's the way it is. That's the way everything is in today's modern world, especially Liverpool. If I was being like now, when they were pulling down the overhead, shall I say, and even the custom house, I think I would have been in jail, put it that way. Raw of the Peroni, says the Redbird. I love it. Christopher, hi Frank and everyone. Aliens have stopped you putting up the proof, Frank. Do you know what? I don't know what happened to Jason. I said, Jay, I want these. He said, okay. I love them for Friday night. I said, okay. But I know he's been dead busy. I really know he's been very, very busy. He's been working away because he's up. You know what he does. People from around the country want him. That's why I couldn't get on last night, and he had to pull over on the motorway, the hard shoulder, and tell me what to do. Great fella. Anfield to I'm on pulling it tonight to respect Bavarian brothers losing out on the biggest German star since Klinsmann tour. Casido was booked for a medical. Exactly, Redbird. As I said, Bellingham's parents were here. Not just the parents, a couple of the members of the family as well. They were even shown where he was going to stay. He was going to stay in a penthouse while he looked for his own place. What would you say? Just imagine that now. Say like with Vert's parents, if he's not married, just say. And it's like a brother or sister, whatever, and they were over looking around Liverpool. You go, he's here, just like said Bellingham. Become very wary ever since the Khomeini thing. Ever since then. Frankie, strong rumours and Cap. Oh, go away. Are you kidding me? Strong rumours in Cappy next. Apparently, Joe, the goat, all this time was Richard Hughes' alias. He's been listening to us. Oh. I was believing you there for a minute. Oh, it's in Cappy. See, I only believe you lot. Honestly. Gary Richards, how you, Gary? Tally old Frank, dear boy. One is guzzling Manchester tears, yes. We have Johan. He's a Man United supporter, great lad though. Honestly, Gary. He's a lovely lad. And he can take banter, by the way. Edwards, Frank is a soldier. Thank you, Edward. Thank you. And type in capitals to help Frank's eyes. Oh, sees the red bit. If you did that, I'll be able to wear like my distant glasses. That's if you do, like, doesn't matter. Me and Darryl said last night we will never get Vert, but I'm pleased to be proven wrong. It's like every day. It's great to be proven wrong. You know that. I know that. Everyone else knows it. Especially about. I'm not just saying because it's Vert, but other players as well. Then all of a sudden we get them. I always remember John Barnes, believe it or not. Liverpool went after him at Watford, they said, we'll get him. We'll get him. And it was soon after when he played against Brazil in the Copacabana. No, it wasn't. That's the beach, isn't it? Copacabana. The Americano, and he went through. He just like this. Against the tip. He was incredible. So anyway, I always remember people saying, just ordinary. There's no social media, no none. And they saying if a London club comes in for him because he's from down there, he lives down there, they won't get him. And that was the problem then. Just talking, just having a beer, talking like that. Even after a game. And we got him. we got him. And Beardsley, Peter Beardsley. What a combination they were when they came. The on-field. Here, Frankie, Redbird says your eyes are bad after I sent you them naked Sophia. I'll leave my Sophia. Love Sophia. That's who our baby's named after, Sophia. Sophia. Sophie. Me lads, yeah, I love Sophia Lily. Simon. To be honest, to Edwards and FSG, I do believe they have learned from the Casido and Lavia. I'm like you, wary, but I think too much ground covered for this not to happen, despite my reservation. That's a great comment, and I'll tell you for why, Simon. We have to have reservations. We really do, because if you put everything on what's supposed to be happening, and then all of a sudden it doesn't, at least you've got that to fall back on. You know, you could say, well, you know, it wasn't like 100% in my opinion on all this. So you've got that. It's like a little shield. It's like something to fall back on, like a pillow or whatever. Barry. Even Frank, even Barry, sorry not being able to join you, but I'm in Southampton for a few days. But I read on Team Talk that we are look away. Don't know if it's true, but you never. Oh no, really? Humphrey Raw said that, and I thought, oh, he's joking, because he come out with a little quip, you see. Humphrey, as usual. I'd love Cappy to come. He's brilliant, you know. He's brilliant. If that's the case, I'm telling you now, if we're going to get him, we won't get Kirkers. I'm telling you now, because Kirkers is a left back. But I'll tell you what, Cappy's better. Cappy can play two positions. Keep singing. He can play left back and left-sided centre back. I'd love him. That would do me, though. Callum. Simon, Lavia Casido, where Schmacky, yeah. He said, I'm only coming here for 6 months, stayed a year. But he was all right, Schmacker. The outfit, Barry Eldred, lad. Down south, mind them jelly deals. I don't like fish food, to be honest. Don't want to know what they eat. Like lobsters and prawns and anyway. Barry, how are you doing, mate? Jelly babies are my limit. Simon, saying to Callum, what I was referring to was Edwards learned from the debacle and realised this was not going to happen on his watch. It happens a few times on his watch, if you go back. Honestly, it did. And it was Edwards who brought in Federico, you know, as an appeasement. I hope, like everyone, that we will now see Slot getting the backing. He's not wanting them. I've got to say it. It's the likes of Edwards. It's the likes of him. Frankie says the way they took all our beautiful architecture in the city is criminal. It should have been protected just for the beauty of it. when I was growing up, I was lucky to the last few sites. The thing is, it's a hotel now, and it's, what's it fucking called? I forget what it's called. And I wrote a booklet for them. They wanted to name rooms after famous people, and they said, but don't get the Beatles. I said, okay. And I was mentioning, like Pearson Holland, usually told them, oh, can you write something about it? Because they was going to put it on the board, like the door, say like a number 6 door, right? Number 6, and underneath it would have had a name, say like Wyndham Sadler and what he did. First man to cross an expansive water. See what I mean? In 1817. Know what I mean? So that would have been that. From Dublin to Liverpool. So, the things like that. So I wrote a booklet. And some of the people took over, never got paid for my book, I've never even seen it. Can't even get a copy. But it was a great booklet, yeah. That's what I wrote. So, yeah. But what they did, it was, they needed, the old, do you know the annex to the municipal building? It's a hotel now, the municipal building, but it was the annex over the road, facing it. And it was a conservative club. And I went in there a few times, fantastic. When it was shut up. And I actually saved some of the inside of it. Because I got wind off a Liverpool lad, and these fellas from Bolton were down, and they were trying to get in. They were going to go in and refurbish. I don't know whether they were going to refurbish it or prep what was going in there. And you wanted to see what they were going to knock down. This fella, he rang me up. He said, "You're Frank, aren't you?" I said, "Yeah." "Who's this?" So anyway, he told me. He said, "Can you get down here?" So I said, "Yes." So I shot down. And I said, "Where are you from, lads?" He said, "Bolton." I said, "Bolton, what are you doing here?" "Well, we're going in here. We're going to the, I said, "Oh, hang on." I said, "Don't fucking go do that." They were waiting for this van from Bolton. So I shot along to the town hall, told them, I said, "You better get along here. These are fucking going to go in. I've made it." And what they wanted to do, they was going to knock the staircase, marble, all the Victorian. If you think the Philharmonic pub toilets there is brilliant, you want to see these. These are immaculate. Immaculate. And they wanted to smash them to smithereens. And, other things as well. So I saved that. But anyway, it's a hotel now. I don't know why I'm going on about this. But, oh yeah, so they needed next door. I'm awfully sorry. It's only what you're saying. They needed next door. Oh, what was their name? So the Labour government then. Oh, Owls. It was someone Owls. Oh, what's it there? Anyway, she was the secretary of whatever it was, culture. And she said, "No, you can't do anything. That's a grade 2 listed building, grade 2 star listed building. You can't do anything." So anyway, she was coming up on the Sunday or the Monday. No, Yet she was coming up on the Monday to say, look, you can't do it, Steve Pitt, whatever. And they went in on the Monday and they started, not in the hotel, outside, not, next to the hotel, this building. And they started to smash the windowsills and everything, destroyed more or less the outside. So it couldn't be graded. That's what they do. And that's happened not only here, but in other cities as well. Deface the frontage. That's what they do. The slide. The black and white. Pulling great architecture and placing with monstrosities are all, or a small part, to demoralise the people. That's brilliant, that. Demoralise me. That's great, that black and white, yeah. The Anfield. Barry Aldridge, well, lad. I'm well, lad. You keep on the jellybeans. Callum. Seems like we actually are looking at Nkapi. He's not lying about, but nothing stronger. I'd love him, boys. I'd do a bloody cartwheel. Honest. Backward flip. Everything. Red Bears, I find good drink before hoovering to stay in a good book. Guess me allowance on Sir Frankie's car. Brilliant. Oh. Guys, and your thought, Franco, when Vert, Frimpong, Kerker's sign makes me wonder, was there a conspiracy against Klopp? You've hit the nail on the head, albeit you're saying was there. You haven't heard me, have you, about the conspiracy? It wasn't even a conspiracy. Oh, don't forget that there was a conspiracy, and at the end of a conspiracy, there's always the truth. And I've mentioned it many a time. That's why Trent's leaving. Trent's, I've been thinking about this. Remember Trent's crying his eyes out at the end, when Klopp was, getting applauded, and he was going up to that John Henry fella to pick up, like, I don't know what the fucking hell he was picking up at the centre of the pitch on a little podium. And you see Trent crying his eyes out. And don't forget about Ulla, his wife, she wouldn't, she just turned her back on them. Still, Trent knew the score, and maybe Trent's gone like that. Fuck you. Get rid of him. And you don't resign 2 years before, and then all of a sudden 2 years later go back. Him and Ward. Wonder if their conspiracy against Klopp after all. So I will be bitterly disappointed as we lost so many trophies. Believe it. Callum Alverzi is linked. That's it. Oh, Toscana. Hey, Toscana. Oh. Tell Franco, just checking in. Hope I've not missed it. Toscana, I was thinking all about. I was thinking about Puccini and Luca today. I was thinking about your cousin, the archaeologist, Pompeii. I'd love to meet them, I'll tell you what I'll do with your Toscana. If you look in the description, right at the very end, it comes up. and how to get in touch. Send an email to that email address, and put I'll have your email then. Then I'll send you mine. I'll write to you. I'll send you an email. Then you've got mine. I'll have a word with you. Okay. Do that for me, please. If Frank put a Liverpool hat on, he'd look like Klopp. Someone said, I was tweeting, and someone said about America, and yeah, they believed that Trump, when he said we won the war, and without us, no one will do it. They never won it. I said, fucking send me something when you've won a war. I said, he always says, we're the kings of everything. I said, the only thing you are kings of is baseball caps. Everybody wears a baseball cap in America. I was watching something today, and it was about a murder, and these people went, to the sentence of the victim, the poor victim. And when they came out, you see them, you see this fella, an hefty man, and he has a fucking bib and brace on. Like what you see in, the Hills of Eyes, things like that. I thought, fucking hell, showing up at a court like that, a fucking bib and brace. Oh, Jesus. We are not always right, but we're never wrong. You're right there, Christopher. The Red Bear. Rumours are just this until they are not. That's why I don't get overexcited. But we know this. We're this particular pod. And the outfit, Redbirds, I did breathe a small sigh of relief that we may win this battle for blood. You see me wincing, it's because of this fucking thing. And my mate, today, he said, are you in pain? I said, yeah. And he said, and he was he's trying to find this physiotherapist. He said he's good. He's very, very good, because he said, mentioned it. I said, I don't know. He said, well, he went there anyway. He said, go within a minute, he said, the pain. What I say there, Alfred, hope all is well. I was going to mention the vowel, but I said, no, I'll leave it when the opera bueno. Lord, don't get me wrong, I'm hoping the latest rumours are true. The Red Bear, Callum Frank's better looking than Klopp. Mind you, I haven't got my glasses on. I haven't got a seat. Ah, that's nice. Yeah, because what he's saying there, CC sono fantastico, mi sto divertendo Friday, amico mio. Ah, that's lovely. Looks forward to the Fridays. My friend, amico mio. Oh, lovely. Thank you, boys and girls. Right. Can I just saying that we're on the subject of football for a moment, whether you can see this, I don't know. But I'm giving this as a memento if you want it, if anyone wants it. Right? And Francine, do you know what? I should have asked her to send me a photograph. Where I used to live, I had it in St. John's Town, and George Sefton, by the way. And he was down, and he became a friend of mine, St. John. He's a lovely man. Oh, fucking lovely. And I said to him, I said, I'm having a night for you. Scouse night. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I said, yeah. So it's already planned. He was, is it? I said, yeah. I said, yeah. And I showed him the ticket. And he went, God, he was made up. He said, for me? I said, yeah, for you. And I was shocking that night. I was shocking for him. So I said to him when he was down, I said, yeah, look. I said, we're getting these printed out. And anyway, I didn't have a marker. I said, do us a favour, it's just sign that with you. The ticket. And he said, okay. And he signed it. And I'm giving it to someone who wants it. Anyone. I hope you can see his signature. Can you see it? It's only with ordinary pen. Can you see? If anyone wants it, it's yours. The Saint. The outfit. Frankie hasn't got the club smile like he's been sucking on electricity. We've got a seat. Wouldn't it be great to have Cappy next to Virgil and Kirkus left back? I'd be happy to let Canate go to PSG or whoever. Barry says, yeah. 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 No, that's it. I'd love him. Callum, I thought you said Lavia and Casido were smackers. Look, lads, I've got to carry on with what I wanted. Redbird, they are as well. They are, Callum. Quansar plus 40 million for Nkapi. Good shelter. Best shout of the night so far now. Oh yeah, look, Gary say good show, Callum. Well then, Simon, Frank, I was watching the Titanic promo YouTube clips today. I learned so much I didn't know. I know you mentioned last night you're exploring new opportunities. I'd love you to do a talk sometime. I've done talks. I've been refusing them lately because of I really need to get myself better. I have given talks. I'll show you something. Let me show you something. It won't be 1 minute. It takes. I've got a pair of shorts on, you know. See me knee there? Carry me. That's right. Right, I'll show you. I'll have to get my hair cut as well. Now, this is me. This is what I do. Right. Can you see that? I gave up my fee for it was prostate cancer. Prostate. So I said I don't want anything. So that's what I do. I'll always give up my airtime, but if it's for a good thing, Zoe's Place, things like that. Apparently, Edwards has a good relationship with Bayek. Yeah, maybe so. CEO, yeah, CEO, yeah, says the Callum. Evening buffs of the historical persuasion. I shouldn't be. I know. Sleepy. Just wait till Onyxstein writes Klopp's book. Some very uncomfortable truths will come out of this woodwork. Sports Build, a German news outlet, have already offered their publishing services. Stand on me. Blame everyone's going, look, boys, I really need to get something done here. What's that? The Yanks have been taught in schools for years that they won the war, so it's inbred in them. Yeah, I know. I just, oh look, I've got to. Right, so I'm gonna go on this. Sorry if this comes across controversial, but what are your thoughts on Trump and his influence since coming back into office? Is it good or is it bad? Or is it best of a bad bunch? Okay, he got in on the premise of peace. That was his ticket. So I've got to take these. Sorry. So what he did, he got in on that. But I've been seeing him lately. I've been really concentrating on the man. And he's jumping from one to another. He's jumping from one to another. I don't think what he's got behind him are neocons, globalists, and the deep state. They all belong to the deep state. They want to try and destroy Putin. They want their resources. Believe it or not, that was all this since going on. I always remember Obama throwing Putin out of the G8 to make it the G7, and that was it. All began. It began in the 90s. All what's happening today. It all began in the 90s. And then you had agreements that Ukraine would never ever go into NATO. If they went into NATO, they're the red lines. Every country has a red line. America has them. America has them. America has Mexico, big red line there. But what you've got is the big plan of America that's been going on since the likes of before Bush, to be honest. Bush Senior, going on from it. The Gulf Wars, in '92, and then right through. You've got everything going on. And it was to destabilise the Middle East. You had 9/11. 9/11. That's what you had in 2001. That gave the big excuse that, these Arabs can't be trusted. So we've got to do something. Then you had the weapons of mass destruction to go into Iraq. They wanted to destroy the Middle East, destabilise. And that's what they did. But it wasn't just to destabilise the Middle East. They knew any war-torn country, you'd have a big movement of migrants. And where would they go? They couldn't go into Africa because they're already there. Because there's all little warring factions around the African states. So where did they go? Europe. It was like, like a funnel. Brilliant the way they did it. You've got like, say like that's the funnel, that's the Middle East, and they all converged there. And then they went down that funnel. They went down right over the Mediterranean. Some went into Turkey on the land through Syria. Syria was all right then. So they had to take out Syria. They had to take out Afghanistan. They had to take out Libya. They had to take out all these leaders. Gaddafi was a great leader. Saddam Hussein, the propaganda against that man was it was shocking. Any leader, there's all propaganda, he's evil. He's murdering and raping people and everything. And Gaddafi the same. Gaddafi looked after his people. Afghanistan. The harshest of the harshest. And they put a puppet in. He fell. He went to America with 2 cases full. Millions of dollars. 2 big cases. Living in America now. Untouchable. Forget his name. I can see him there. I can see his face. And then you had Al-Jolani. Bad dude, bad man. So Al-Jolani, he has a $10 million thing on his head. You had the ISIS. Who formed the ISIS? America. Destabilization. So you had these people going around chopping heads off. You've only got to look what's happening in Europe. You've only got to look at the percentage of crimes happening anywhere in Europe. It's gone on a scale from from there. And it's not like the indigenous peoples that are committing these crimes. It's the foreigners that's going in. Think about it. It's not a hate speech, this, by the way. It's just like how they've done it, how destabilise Europe. It's just nuts. It'll be great. we've always welcomed people in, but we've welcomed people in from the old Commonwealth. Indians, always done that. Chinese. But once you start getting the illegals in, that's where you go, whoa, hang on. Because what you've got, I've seen, I don't watch the news anymore, but when I seen these people coming in, they were all young people, well dressed, with the latest phones. The latest phones. And the latest gear coming from war-torn countries. That's what refugees are. You don't mind that. But they're crossing friendly countries that are not war-torn. But everybody's getting fed up with them. And that's it. So what do you do? I can't say too much on this country. I really can't, because I'll get into trouble. I'll just get into trouble. You know, you've only got to say something. I was reading something that, you know, minors, kids were raped. And the culprit, the perpetrator, got a suspended sentence. And you go, that's wrong. So you come to your own conclusions. Trump, on the other hand, as I said, he got in on the ticket of peace. Now he's being, you know, put forward as, you know, Nobel Peace Prize. He should never get the Peace Prize. Like Obama should never ever have got the Peace Prize. He destroyed Gaddafi. He's got the blood of Gaddafi on his hands. Him and Cameron, David Cameron. So how can he get a Peace Prize? You've got, look, to get a Peace Prize, you advocate peace and you bring peace to the table. You've got Rubio today saying there's a senator now by the name of Lindsey Graham, one horrible man, hates Russia, he tells you, hates Putin. Don't know what Putin's done to him, done nothing really. And he wants to put on 500% tariffs, and it's gone to the Senate. And Rubio, he's coming out saying if the president puts these tariffs on, we'll never negotiate. You know, that'll push them further away from any negotiations for Ukraine. Then he's saying in the same breath that he wants these tariffs. Putin's only got to turn around. Trump only has to turn around and say, no, I want to trade with Russia. I don't know whether you know of a fellow by the name of Rand Paul, senator, very good at Rand Paul. And he said, it's lunacy to put 500% tariffs on any country that deals with Russia, because most of their stuff, you won't believe this, you've got petroleum, uranium, oil, food, you've got everything coming out of Russia that's going into America. And he said, we'll be tariff ourselves. Inflation will go sky high. Not only will inflation go sky high, but our economy will collapse. He said, what are you doing? He's told them. So you see the way everything is. And Trump, he's got to say, that's it to Europe. I've gone. I'm going. Now you've got the European Union. This is the democracy that these are loving body. We've got to bring democracy. This is why Ukraine's it's the fucking biggest corrupt country on the fucking planet. Ukraine. It's full of it's full of Azovs and Nazis. You've only got to look at the two leaders of the EU. Two women. Von der Leyen, Ursula von der Leyen, and the other one is Kaja Kallas, who hates Russia, hates Putin, just hates them. And threatens them every single day. Russia. She used to be the president of Estonia, or prime minister, whatever they have there. Hates them. And she even said to Vucic, she said to Vucic before the 9th of May, don't go or you'll never get into the EU. If you go there. So he went. He said, fuck you, and went. Came out, and she's there again, talking to him, saying you've got to choose between the democracy of the EU. Let me tell you about the fucking democracy of the EU, or the East. Viktor Vucic, the president of Serbia. The people of Serbia will tell him to tell her to do one. Anyway, the so-called democracy, giving Zelensky loans for his democracy. Do you know what his democracy is? Lock up all the opposition, put them in jail. Any investigative reporters just go and enlist them in the army and send them to the front. They're all fucking dead. The investigative reporters. Do you know about that? One way of getting rid of them. So this is what you have. It's a joke. And these know this. But the Azovs, when you look at the background of Kaja Kallas, their granddad, get onto this, was in the Soviet army, the Soviet army, fighting the so-called Germans, so to speak. Nobody was, he's fucking in the SS. Von der Leyen the same. Von der Leyen, her fucking family. You've only got to look at Canada and the hunker standing up, getting a fucking big ovation. You've only got to look at the Zionist Netanyahu getting 57 ovations, standing ovations in fucking Congress in the same meeting. What's that telling you? It's horrible. So Trump, if he doesn't come out, look at what Putin's come out and said today, that he's doing a buffer zone. And he said, we're doing it. They're in process now, the armed forces. And it goes right from like the little border of Kiev right down to Odessa. Because what did Macron want to do? Macron came out earlier this week, and said, we want to take Odessa. France, take Odessa. Russian-speaking people in Odessa. Do you think for 1 second that the president of the Russian Federation would allow that? So anyway, this buffers, he's warned them and warned them and warned them. So now he's come out and said it. So they're going to go right down to the Black Sea, take Odessa, through this buffer zone, and cut Ukraine off entirely from using the Black Sea. See? So let's get to this democracy. Georgescu, Romania. He's in the lead by 67 or 68% going into the final round. What did Kaja Kallas and Ursula von der Leyen cancelled the election? Can't have him. Fuck. He loves Putin. You can't have him. We're building the biggest NATO thing at their base in Europe, the biggest. We can't have that. We've got to have NATO in Romania. So Brussels cancelled the Romanian elections. So he just said, okay, Georgescu, I'm going to go again. And when he went to go again, he was arrested. Oh, no, you can't fucking go again. That's it. Got to the court. No, you can't apply. So this other fella by the name of Simeon, he said, I'm going in. But he wasn't such a hard liner as Georgescu. But he says, I want to look after our own people, the Romanian people. Not this lot, going in with Zelensky in Ukraine. And what happened to him? He was in the lead. He was unbeatable. So they went out, well, hang on, we'll have it again, eh? So they had to have the fucking election again. And he got hammered. The fella who won it, Lieutenant Dan, you might as well say Paul Milligan, for example. Paul Milligan went over there, says, hello, everyone. I want to be your next president, and he'd be fucking voted in over Simeon. Do you see what I mean? That's how pathetic it is. That's how pathetic it is. And it's shocking. It's shocking just to think that this is democracy. Where's the democracy? And Kallas is telling Vucic, you've got to the community of Europe and the democracy. So you'll have to choose our democracy over. There's no freedom of speech. There's freedom of speech over in Russia. You've only got to look at this country. You've only got to look at France. You've got to look at America as well. Is there any Russian correspondence there? In meetings, press conferences, is there any one Russian in any of these countries? No. But is the French in Moscow? Is the Americans in Moscow? All their TV networks interviewing Trump, Putin. Not one. Not one is in the Western. Not one. Anywhere in Europe, not one Russian correspondent. Yet they're all in Moscow, saying what they want, writing what they want, television and everything. The BBC are fucking there, the biggest propaganda machine on the planet. And still telling you lies, still coming out with propaganda. What was it today? That fucking Bloomberg or whatever it was, coming out saying that Russia's losing the war. That's how pathetic they are. I'm seeing it every day. They're fucking losing the war. Ukraine by a massive margin. So that's your democracy. That's Trump. He's flip-flopping. But he's got to come out and say that enough's enough. And if he pulls back, don't forget, this man who they all want like for their peace and, you know, give him a Nobel Peace Prize, he's fucking sat there while Gaza's been going on, while civilians have been blown up in tents. How can you give a man who wants peace the Nobel Peace Prize? He's fucking sitting there watching this and doing nothing about it. What do you think? Paul Mulligan. Peace and love and harmonious vibrations, everybody. Yes. Simon, doesn't this just illustrate these fucking things? Doesn't this just illustrate why Trump won in the US? Because of the Mexican border, and you look at the advancements of Reform UK, Lindsey Graham is like storm that blows with the wind. He's a dangerous man, is Lindsey Graham. Very dangerous man. They haven't a clue. They've got no fucking clue about economics. 500% tariffs. That'll destroy, but it'll backfire. It'll backfire. Oh yeah, the last thing about democracy in Europe. Every time that something's been wanting to be given to Zelensky, you know, to build more houses and buy more flashy cars and jewelry for his fucking wife. What's happening? Viktor Orban stands up and says, no, we're not doing it. You're not getting our vote. Now what they're doing, the EU, they're trying to get rid of him and bypass his vote. And also FISO of Slovakia. Bypass their vote, you know, and we'll be able to get the money. It's a fucking washing machine. It's a big laundry. It's a big money laundering fucking thing, Ukraine. Get them out the way. They want the war to go on, carry on, escalate. Give them more arms. And Starmer Sherman sends our boats out to that's a fucking joke. It's not like the Second World War, First World War. We've got nothing. And what's just been come out has said that Russia has the most far advanced weapons than any major Western nation. That includes America. The Orishnik. They can drop that without any nuclear power. And it's as devastating as a nuclear missile or bomb or whatever. It's just, they've got, what are they? Iskanders? I think Iskander, I might get mixed up. But anyway, they've got these missiles. I think they're called Iskander. And they can't be shot down. They're that fast. It's impossible to shoot them down. You've got them, and they could be powered with nuclear warheads. And we're wanting to have a go at them. The Mexican border, by the way, he did, because what's coming through are all criminals. The majority are criminals. You've got Zelensky. You've got all these arms from Ukraine. Oh, well, and Paul says, Frank speaking pure truth, mainstream peddling utter garbage to confuse and brainwash the sheep. Spot on, Paul. Simply because you've only got to have someone to question. And when they question, you've only got to talk to some of your mates. I showed something on the telly to my former colleague who came down. And I said, hey, I'll have a look at this. So I put it on. And he was shocked. I said, you heard about this? He said, no. I said, don't you? Go away. He said, no. Because he fucking watches the ITV and BBC News. And what it was, there was people being dragged off the streets in Ukraine by the Azovs and beaten up and thrown in vans, even old men. You should have seen this fella trying to get away from them. But they showed one great one. Someone must have been on a beach. Like a little cove. And they must have, like that, filming. And you see these two, like, they wear soldier Azovs, going over to this fella. Big fella. But he was old, this fella. You see this other fella, his wife was sitting on a beach bed, whatever they fuck it, talking. And the next, they're arguing with this fella, like in the distance. And they're arguing with this big tall fella. You might have seen it, I don't know. And the fella goes, fucking grabs one of them and throws him in the sea. And the other fella runs away because this other fella gets up off his sunbed and runs over and goes, what's fucking going on here? Doing this to this fucking Azov fella. But I don't know what happened after that. But it was great the way this big fella, fucking. And that's what's going on. That's the democracy. But you're not seeing it. The democracy, I'm seeing the democracy at work, if you know what I mean. That's undemocratic. And this is what the democratic societies like the Western one, they're not showing you. They're not showing you anything. Not showing you anything. And he was shocked. I'll be absolutely gobsmacked if we manage to sign Verts. You'll never walk alone, says Paul Milligan. Hi, Paul, it's done and dusted, says Simon. I look at the United States, says Simon. I look at the the USA's political setup. What frightened me during the election was how the media covered up Biden. I look at Harris and thank God Trump was elected. You see, there was no one around 4 years ago for Biden. Then it was rigged. I believed Trump. I believed him on day one because I said there's something wrong with this Biden. I'm going back 4 years ago when he was elected Biden. I said there's something wrong here. What's the Americans up to get him? Because it was rigged. And Trump came out and said it. And this is why they were trying to imprison Trump. This is why he sacked that, I forget his name now, the FBI, because he knew all about it. You've got that Kash Patel now, who's the leader of the FBI. You've got Tulsi Gabbard there. They're good. But you've got Trump being fed with a load of bollocks. I'm sorry if there's any ladies listening. It's shocking. And don't forget, the MI6 here, they're not innocent people. They're fucking dangerous people. They're covert operators along with the CIA. It's shocking. The democracy of Europe and Ukraine. You've got I think it was Lavrov who came out. They were talking about having a meeting and negotiations in the Vatican. That's fucked up. I'm a Catholic. I'm a Roman Catholic. And if you don't think that the fucking Pope was elected for political means and gains, then you don't know your politics. He was definitely elected for an American Pope. Fucking shocking. Shocking. It's defacing the Vatican. And its neutrality. And Lavrov just said, no, there's not going to be a meeting there. They're not going to be hosts. Because he knew what happened. The last time, fucking pulling chairs out for fucking Zelensky. He just gate crashed the funeral. Wasn't invited. A Jew. A war criminal. He's a fucking war criminal. And yeah, nothing happened. Him and Trump. And Trump came out, oh yeah, great him. Fucking shocking. So you don't know where Trump is. He flip-flops. He goes from one to the other. He's got no leverage over Russia. He's got none whatsoever. He doesn't hold the playing cards. And how can you be a fucking mediator when it's your war? The Americans started it in 2014 with the Maidan coup d'etat. When they overthrew it's not Lukashenko, the Belarusian president. They've got the fucking same name, more or less. Poroshenko, sir. And they overthrew him. The people of Ukraine voted him in by an overwhelming majority. and they threw him out to put these Azovs in. And if you don't think that Zelensky, who's Jew, and he spoke Russian, his granddad was fighting the Nazis. He's fucking turned into one. You don't think a Jew can't become a Nazi? You're much mistaken. I mean, even in Don Franco, even in IB, two-tier Stalin has basically cancelled Brexit. Not that we ever were fully out of the EU, but toy boy lover Stalin is given all UK power to the EU world order. Yeah, new world order. Yes. I'm going to be honest with you. Please, I'm going to be totally honest with you. Yeah, it's cool. Got something there, right in the corner. Along this with 2 corners. It's terrible. I was a Remainer. And only because of the SMO, I've seen the colours of Brussels. I was asked to be an MEP, for the, remember when Farage was leading his little party? I said, are you fucking kidding me? Me? UKIP? He said, no, you'll get it. They love you. This is a few years ago. I said, no. I said, I couldn't do that. I said, I'm a Labour man, voted Labour all my life. I said, I can't go and join that lot, you lot. And it was the deputy leader at the time. I used to work with him. He was a historian, like myself. True that. And I met him I bumped into him, never met him, when I was out on Friday night. And I met him in Laverne. He went, Frank. Because I hadn't seen him for a couple of years since I left the college I was working at. Frank, join us. You'll easy get in. We've got a ward there, you'll cakewalk it. I said, I don't want to fucking cakewalk anything. I wouldn't work for that. I wouldn't even become a councillor. I was asked to become a councillor. I said, no. Enough on my fucking plate. Can't even counsel myself. That's genuine, man. If I was Oban, I'd walk away from the EU. I'd fucking chase fucking, I don't know whether NATO were there in Hungary. I'd fucking, if they are, chase them and join BRICS. BRICS is going to be most powerful. Look, you had Trump, he came in, what did he fucking do? He called the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America. Like fucking John Wayne. Honestly. And he went out to Canada, you're going to be our 51st states. No, he wants Greenland. So if he wants Greenland, Denmark is saying, hang on a fucking minute. Remember Galtieri? The Argentinian general. He said, we're going over to the Malvinas and we're taking it back. It belongs to us. It doesn't fucking belong to you. Doesn't belong to you, belongs to us. The fuck do you think you are? And we sent an armada down, didn't we? So, well, what's going to happen with, a NATO country, a big EU country? What'll Trump do? What'll America do if they go in and take it? That's what he said. I'll take it by force. I'll send the troops in. That's what I mean about Trump. I think he's losing it myself. I seen Biden when he came in 4 years ago. I said, there's something wrong here. There was no one to challenge Trump. He was only him. Because other people didn't like the candidates. I said, there's something wrong. And it's been proved that he's suffering from dementia. Just come on there like that. It's a gradual thing. He was losing it. But the reason was Russia not negotiating, because if he would have got in Trump, when he said, and it would have happened, this would have happened. He said that war would never have started if I would have been president. And it wouldn't, because he would have made Zelensky in the April 2022 sign that peace treaty. Simple. None of this would have happened. Russia would have been in the G8 trading with America. So believe that. Simon says the Chinese Kim Jong-un, Putin and the Iranians are wary of what Trump can do. I applauded Trump when he tackled Zelensky in the South and the South African president yesterday in the Oval Office. Was anyone do it? Thing is, do you mean about the white farmers genocide? For how long does that go back? How long does that go back? It's not just happening now. It's been going back. You can go back for fucking years. Years. White genocide. And they imprisoned all the leaders, didn't they, of these people who were committing these atrocities? Putting kids, fucking kids, putting a tire over them, dousing them and setting fire to them. Tires around. And that's on men, and women. And they just burnt to death. With kids, that wouldn't be tight around them. Built up the tires and put them in the middle. They couldn't fucking move. Toast them. So I'll let you come to. I can't say. So you have to come to your own conclusion. How long it's been going on, and who was part of it. And loads of them got imprisoned. But Zelensky, the way the West spun it, when he tried to intimidate Trump and J.D. Vance, and when he called J.D., he said, J.D., Vance should have said, Mr. Vice President, to you, you're in the Oval Office. He walks in fucking khaki. Not khaki, military fucking boots. He goes to the funeral of my Pope Francis, in fucking military boots. He's a fucking disgrace. Zelensky. Can't fucking stand them. This country signs up to the corrupt. Yeah, World Health Organization, yeah, and we will have zero democracy left in the. We've got none now. I didn't know that we had two different laws. How can a foreign law be practiced in this country? Can anybody tell? There's our law going, and this other law has the death penalty. And you know what law I'm talking about, don't you? IBR. The MI6 might be dangerous, but they ain't got the balls to mess with our Franco. Simon. Putin and the Chinese run circles around Obama and Biden. Trump is a New Yorker and knows how to get dirty. That's why these guys aren't stupid to play fire with fire. Even the Iranians are backing up. That's the last country they want to try and see. Trump, he's got nothing. He's got no leverage, you fuck all. What the see? Look, I'm no disrespect to ordinary American who voted for Trump in to bring peace. They wanted to Biden and I'm saying and his administration, including Obama, by the way, and going back to W. Bush, W. Right, they wanted to keep China and Russia so far apart. But with this SMO, working together, the best of mates, that's what they didn't want. It's backfired on them. It's backfired. And I think now he's going to be played along, Trump. He has to, because he's got nowhere to go. He's in a corner. And he's either got to come out and say one way or the other, I'm taking my troops out of Europe. That's it. Fucking finished with you. This is why, obviously you've got, there's whispers that NATO's finished because it hasn't been the Ukrainians fighting Russia. It's been fucking NATO. It's been everyone. They defeated NATO. So why do you think the European, all these daft European leaders who are absolutely fucking useless, especially these unelected bureaucrats in Brussels, the likes of Callas, the likes of von der Leyen, unelected, and they want like 750 billion. I don't know what it fucking is, to be honest. The money's just, the noughts on the end of it that fall off the fucking table. If you're writing them down. Wants a big super army, European army. And that's telling you, or they know, that NATO is finished. And America might just say, fuck you, stay yourself. We'll still praise with you, Europe, but you're taking us for no motion anymore. And Trump's always said that. But he's not, he flips from one to the other. He could turn around to me today and go, I fucking hate you. And tomorrow go, listen, I fucking love you. That's what he's like. You don't know you don't know where you stand with him. But the Russians don't trust him now. The Russians. Simon, says the Redbird, the torture and murder of white farmers and other whites, Boers, yes. Ever since blacks were in power, no other leader had the guts to call the South African president out and show him the proof, except Trump. But it's been going on a very, very, very long time. It's not just under him. What happened there? Simon. Trump is cozying up to the Saudis and Qatar as, unlike this country, he knows the power and influence of the oil. We focus on the net zero and leave ourselves open to be exposed. We have listen, look, I pay for everything I do. There's everything I have, I pay for. Honestly, I just, if I don't like anything, I just fucking get rid of it and buy a new thing or whatever. And I was very careful with my electricity. I've only got all electric here. And I was very careful because of the fucking hike in the prices. So I bought myself these things, electric throws, as Francine calls them. And they were brilliant, kept me warm through the winter, but it was fucking freezing. That's how it is. And where's the fucking money going? Where is it going? Where's the money for our 5.3 million kids below the poverty line? Where's that going? Where's it going? Where's the priorities? And there's the hoteliers now saying, hang on a fucking minute, we want more money for these staying here. We can't get rid of them. We want our old customers back. They can't come on holiday and use our hotels because we're stuck with them at a far less rate. It's mad what's happening. Go away. Is that on now? Oh. If Inter win tonight and Napoli even draw, I've been to Carlyle, you know. Been there. Sardinia. Sardinia is a lovely place. But it's very hard looking for the Roman ruins. Couldn't find. That's made the Roman ruin. That's why I love Rome so much. And Pompeii. And other lovely places like Verona, the amphitheatre. Inter will beat them, Como. I've never been to Lake Como. Been to Lake Garda. Been to Napoli. Loads of times. I think Slovakia and Hungary need to escape the EU ASAP and join BRICS. Thanks, IBR. That's what I said. Didn't even see that. Yes. The ex-Man United player has just scored. Franco for PM ASAP. Says IBL. Apparently, Bayern Munich have helped out the race to sign opt out. Yeah, that's why he shows us. Jan. Hello, Jan. Hi, Frank. Hope you keep him well. Looks like Liverpool are on the verge of signing Wirtz. Yes. apparently so. And some Manchester City come in for him with a bigger offer and bigger wages. Jan, nothing's done until, honest to God, until it's all, you see them in the club office and signing the contract and coming out wearing a shirt with the name on the back. Hi Frank, hope you're keeping well. Looks like, yeah. I'm okay, Jan. I hope you're well too. Where are you from, Jan? If you're still with us. Where are you from? Simon, what is sad is, why did it take for him to humiliate both at the Oval Office? Why doesn't the EU and you, they're all... You nearly had me swearing then. And although these goody two-shoe leaders just keep quiet, yes, they are all, of course they're a disgrace. I thought Georgia Maloney would have been great, but she's fucking bowing down to them. She's bowing down. Look, does anyone want that? No one's mentioned this to me. St. John's autograph. There it is. And so, I never had it. You can just about see it. I only had a pencil. Not pencil. A pen. I said, sign that, Saint. He said, okay. Anything for you, Flake. And we had a bevy then. Just a lovely man. Loved them. They are a disgrace, Simon. The Redbird. Frank, don't like scores and chat, especially not on no football. So I'm just saying, peeps. So he's the Redbird. Yeah, I'd like to know at the end, Toscana, Prego, Toscana, Silencio, Prego, Silencio. Jan, let's put the war away and talk about what's happening with Liverpool and put a smile on our face. Jan, darling, listen. It's a conspiracy theory tonight. I wish I'm very surprised that Jason didn't put me pictures up. Me pictures of UFOs. Because I don't know whether it's next, it might be just leaving us until next week. Can you see that now? That's what I did last year. And then I went and gave another one. But they put the same up. But they got the dates out, you see. They put posters up. So I did a few, not just there, all over the place. These talks, the one about the Ripper. You can actually talk properly when you're giving a lecture. You can't talk properly on here. Jack the Ripper. 4 million. You're a true historian, Frank, that upholds truth over hearsay, sound bites to placate the blinkered. That's all it is. Do you know what? I'm glad you said that. I'll tell you for why. Do you know, like when you go on YouTube and you see something, I never ever do it on here, and the clickbait thing, and it's got fuck all to do with what you're actually wanting to say. See what I mean? And it's clickbait stuff. That's why I never put anything up, because you're only eating the egg on your face. It's a crack at that, Paul. Thank you for the compliment. Frank, love to know your thoughts on Professor Mac Goodwin, not afraid to No, he doesn't. And he just comes up. Look, you still know this about me, honestly. Don't forget my accent. Like your Matt. Matt Goodwin. Not many of us around, you know. Not many of us around. You see, I'm not being funny, but when I love it when someone comes out and just speaks the truth. And I keep saying it, you know, you've only got to look at the JFK. And an American came out, very clever the way he said it. He went, oh, that's just a conspiracy theory. Because someone came out and said there was a conspiracy to kill. And it wasn't just, it was a conspiracy of others. And this, I forget who he was, said he belonged to LBJ. And we all know that he was involved. And he turned around and said, that's a conspiracy theory by someone. That's just theorized, hence the conspiracy theory. Same terminology, whatever way you want to call it. But what I do, and the likes of Matt Goodwin, is drag away all the propaganda, all the theories, until you get to the theory. And that's where you find the truth. I've said that all along, said it for years. And you know, there's always a motive to do something. Do you know that any war, there's always a motive. You can go back to the Roman times. Now, I used to lecture about the Romans. And there was a AD 43 invasion here, Claudian invasion. Now, there had to be a motive to go cross over the Oceanus Britannicus, which is the English Channel, into Britannica, which is us. There had to be a motive. You couldn't just fucking go over and say, all right, lads, come here to slaughter you. You couldn't just do that. You had to have a motive, and there was a fella by the name of Verica. And there was two brothers, Togodobnus, and this, I forget the other fella's name, it's funny. He's got a name like Togodobnus. And it'll come to me. Begins with a C. God, blimey, came to me then. But anyway, they was going around saying, listen, you know, if you want to take over, that was the Trinobanti tribe, the ancient tribe. Fuck off, you know, we're taking off. And Verica was he said this, because they were a client kingdom. So we got over and said, look, there's Caraticus, and Togodobnus. So he went over and he said, you want to, we need help over here, you know, the kingdoms that are client kingdoms of Rome. So we went, because they needed to give Claudius, who wasn't a military man, a victory so that the Romans would go, yeah, great. And I'm talking about the citizens. I'm talking about the citizens. So they went over. That's why today you've got this special military operation, the SNO, to get rid, denazify these Azovs for committing genocide in the Donbass area, killing people. Find something on Bucha at the UN. What's his name? I always forget this Russian's name. And he's at the UN. And he came out with it. If anyone will ever come to me home, I'll fucking show you what he said about Bucha. And I knew at the time that the Russians wouldn't do that. The civilians all around. And he came out and said it. Nothing's fucking said. Nothing said. And he come out and he has witnesses. He had this French fella, French journalist who looked, seen everything, what the Ukrainians did, what the Azovs did. And they blamed the Russians. Shock. And he's under a death threat. Roger Waters is under a death threat. Why doesn't someone ask Zelensky, what about this fucking kill list, you? Assassinating people. Look at the fella in Madrid the other day being shot dead. Who was a threat to Zelensky if there was going to be an election. Do you know about it? I don't know whether it goes on there. I don't watch this news, to be honest. Shot dead outside us there. It's fucking shocking. Zelensky's getting away with it all the time. Redbird, oh, I forgot. Hopefully he won't see it. I mean the Napoli. Let me know at the end of the game if Napoli, enters one. Nerazzurri. It's okay. He has trouble reading small print. Got my big glasses on. I'm extremely disappointing as our public representatives let us down. No endless money for our friends from taking over France, but apparently no money for the WFP and protecting the disabled. No. As I keep saying, look, I feel sorry for our kids who are below the poverty line. As I said, I know a couple of teachers are still in touch with me, and they're buying their breakfasts. Fucking shocking. They're not buying them bacon and egg and everything else, anything like that, but they're buying them crisp and soft drinks and a little packet of biscuits or whatever to give them something. It's shocking. Where's the money going? To fucking escalate a war. To giving it to a corrupt leader who's got more fucking houses than anybody. His wife paid $4.2 million for a car. I think it was a Bugatti. I'm not quite so sure. She gonna fucking do it. So you're disappointed, Simon. What try coming to me? Pepe Reina was sent off for Como, Frank, in his last. Oh, go away. Do Do you know what Francine said the other day to me? She said, "Oh, do you know who's retiring?" I said, and she said, Pepe Reina. I said, "I thought he retired." She said, "No, he's still playing." But I never asked you for, and you just told me. Pepe, great man, great keeper, great penalty stopper. Loved him. Pepe Reina. Christopher. Frank, what do you think of George Seft? Is he? At the end of the season at Anfield, will never be the same. Hope the cops sing his name on Sunday. I'll go. Do you know what? I know George, he's a friend, but I didn't know. I haven't seen him for ages. And our Francine will be upset because he loves our Francine. Oh, he's been on my show, hasn't he? I'll have him on. But he's always having problems with the owners, you know that? Not that he fucking sees them. That's shocking, though. He's been fucking... If anything, I think he's being forced out, to be honest. If you want my opinion, Christopher, take it from me. Sorry to hear that you haven't been very well. Spreek okay to gericht geprest. Thank you. Yeah. I hope. Do you know what's worrying me, Simon? I might be able to go to the parade. The only problem I've got, no one's got back to me. First and foremost, I said last week, you'll have to let me know where you're meeting. The only places I can meet is in Dale Street. That's the only place I can meet. I can't go like up to Lime Street and around there, London Road, well, not London Road, but, and then, you know, Charlotte Street or whatever. I'll be able to make it down. So I'll have to be in Dale Street. But no one's got hold of me and says, "Oh yeah, we're all meeting in," because I'm not going to go down and meet no one. I've got to give this away, haven't I? Whoever wins it. Got to give that away. It's upside down. Man, you know what it is. I've got to give the program away as well. I don't know whether, I don't know, having a clue about that. Paul Milligan. ISJ Liverpool legend. ISJ. What's ISJ? Please, Paul. ISJ. Who is ISJ? Toscana. I watched an interview with John Lennon. He was describing when he saw a UFO in New York. It's when he was with May Pang. She was witness to it as well. Yeah, she wrote about that. We need those aliens to land and sort the world out. I never ever told you about my incident, did I? Toscana. I'm surprised, Jason, you know. I put us up. I've seen Matt on programs such as Question, and you can see from the start how biased they are and can see the contempt they show. How the likes of Blair and Campbell aren't banged is beyond me. Look, Blair was got at. Blair was got at. Telling you now, he was got at. Must have had something on it. Alistair Campbell will deny everything put in front of him. And he's a Bailey supporter as well, so that tells you the all. What's your view about the three linked to start on the media? Can I read you something? I wonder if I can get away with it. Fuck it, I'm gonna read you something. It's what David Owen sent me before. Great David. Ready for this? This is a tweet from Keir Starmer. For too long, Britain has been addicted to our cheap overseas labour. While 1 in 8 of our own young people aren't in education, employment, or training. I'm putting our young people first, investing in skills they need and ending our dependence on foreign labour. And do you know what the reply was? From a fella says, whose name's Neil. He says, so why didn't you use a British rent boy instead of a Ukrainian one then? Might have saved you the bother of getting the fire brigade out as well. See? David Scowls, you know. Correct research, best research I've ever seen. Paul says, I ain't English. We ain't the Asian Britons now, incorrectly called Welsh. That means foreign in the Germanic invaders' tongue. Yeah. I'm trying to think of a word. It's Irish. That means more or less the same. Oh, poor Frank's losing it. The Redbirds. IBR Stalin Starmer loves the model toy boys. Finally, the truth is getting out. I heard a rumour about backhander Stalin well before the news got out. The media will convince the sheeple it's not true, of course. It's like Lord Mountbatten that time. The IRA didn't kill Lord Mountbatten for the sake of because he was with the British establishment. They knew what he was up to, the boys and his little gun. Same as Ted Heath. And Ted Heath had 2 morning clouds. Did you know that? One for pleasure, and the other one was for pleasure too, if you know what I mean. Christopher. Liverpool FC can confirm George Sefton affectionately known as the voice of Anfield, will step down at the end of the season after more than 5 decades at the stadium. Do you think if Jeremy Corbyn has won in 2000 rather than Boris Johnson, do you think the country would have been any better off, or did the establishment ensure you've hit the fucking nail on the head, Simon? Look, Trump, they needed Biden to get in. They got fucking Biden. And Trump came out and said, it was rigged. I won it hands down. So they got him for a certain thing that's a weapon. And this is what we're experiencing today. And believe it or not, Netanyahu and Trump don't see eye to eye. Trump doesn't like Netanyahu. So they needed this to go on. And when he was coming into power, they fucking knew that Biden wouldn't last. This is why they had October the 7th. See what I mean? So, like, the likes of Trump couldn't walk away. Oh, it's another fucking video, that. Red Paul, I ain't English, I'm Scouse. So, with you, I'm a foreigner. We're all fucking foreigners in this city. Redbird. I'm there, Simon. We're all Redbird. We're all foreigners. Scouse, not English. Look at that documentary, I mean. Scouse, not English. Why is Liverpool so different from the rest of the country? And you see me with we just won the thing, you know. No, we had that. No, it's only done 2 years ago. We won the league anyway. And they had a scarf badge t-shirt on. Frank, is it in St. John? Yeah. Do you want it, Tony? Tony, do you want it? Yeah. Tony, you're the only one who's answered me. You can have it. You know where I live. Come down and see me. It's yours. It's a night I had for him. Come down and get it. You know where I live, Tony. You've got my number as well. Give me a ring later. Simon. Franco, I meant to say banged up and no, I knew what you meant. Of course. I knew what you meant, Simon. Banged. We have no sexual things here. We're all safe on this show. On this pod, rather. Maybe to Simon. I doubt Corbyn make any difference as he was silent on the post office scandal. HS2 and the 5 vaccines is no different. No, I'll tell you what would have happened. You've got to look. Honestly, I've had this argument before. Not argument, debate or whatever. He was being a great. No, he fucking wouldn't, because they would have been at him. He would have got at him. And who was going to stand with him? No one. And it was rigged. There's no fucking way. Theresa May, come on. Come on. Boris Johnson, fucking hell. Simon, I hate Conservative and Labour, but whenever Labour get in, we are on nosedive, and they always make the things worse, in my opinion, says the Red Bird. Well, the first time since I was 18 years of age, and I could vote, I didn't vote in the last election. I just went, I'll have a listen. Red Birds, 100%, the glorious Northwest stays blessed. Yes. Scouse, not English. Top bloke, incredible goalie. That's the little Welsh Wizards, wasn't it? Peppy. Conservatives, I like that. I like that little Conservatives and Labour are like a now they are, yeah. Now they are. I was only saying to my mate today, you might like me here, honestly. Just bear with me what I'm going to say. I was saying to my friend today, I said, where's our politics gone? Where's the proper politicians gone? And I said, what has happened? Or what would happen today, the way it's going on? If your lad, either Harold Wilson or Maggie Thatcher in power today, do you think what's going on today in this country would be a free-for-all like it is today? And I mentioned Thatcher. She covered up. You know what she covered up. But they would never have allowed it. They would never have allowed it. And that's the way it is. Frank, I give you a crystal ball. Where do you see the world going in the next few years? I'm Irish myself. I'd love Ireland to be all united. I'd love to see one big island. One big island. I want a united Ireland. I'd love to see that. I've let it. I do. If you get onto, I just come out of Aussie as well a couple of years ago. Just come out of hospital. And there's a lad, an Irish lad, oh, he's really, really Irish. He really is. And his name is Padraig Cronin. And if you put parlay with Padraig Cronin, you'll see me, or go on one of my sites and just look at some of the things I've done, and you'll see it. Padraig Cronin. And it was mainly about Ireland. And I go back to 1566 and Sir Humphrey Gilbert, the half-brother of Sir Walter Raleigh, and what he did to Ireland in 1566. He went over in order to cause famine, scorch the land, horrible man. And there was a Liverpool scribe named Thomas Churchyard, and he wrote about what he did. And you hear me talking about pandering. What did I think I'd love to see peace now. I'd love to see peace now. I'd like to see Russia. Russia's a very good. Russia feeds us, you know. You know, people don't realise this. You know, diesel. You know, people have got diesel cars, haven't they? Without Russian oil, some sort of oil, you wouldn't be able to make diesel. All the fucking diesel cars would be stopped. They feed us. This is what people got. They've got all the energy. And this EU, absolutely fucking useless. Everybody's paying, myself, you, and everything. You know, we're all paying high prices for energy. Whereas they cut everything off. Biden blew up the Nord Stream, didn't he? But they've got Nord Stream 2. And Callis has turned around and said, we're stopping all this stuff. Fucking Callis. You know, she can afford to eat a fucking house of a winter. So, would I like to see the end? Yes, I'd like to see Russia come into the fold. I'd like to see everything. I'd love to see world peace. That's what I am. I'm an advocate for world peace. But I'm also an advocate for saying, this is what's going on. Don't believe what that fucking lot are telling you. I love people the way they come out, like you have said, you know, about all the propaganda that's being regurgitated day in, day out. As I said about that Bloomberg coming out today saying that Russia are on its knees, and they're fucking not. This is what they want people to believe, so that they go, I'll give all of them, but Russia's going to attack all Europe. This is so that people are, oh yeah, look, take this and take that, please, you know, take our pensions away. The way it is. But I need it. I'm okay, Frank. It was someone put on the chat. I asked you. Ian said, yeah. I like it. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, thanks anyway. I couldn't make it out, I asked you. But no one wants it. St. John's, a little memento. Exotic, that's it. Never mind. Tried. I've tried. So, a question I have, guys. What is the difference between the Tories, Labour and Lib Dems? Nothing. They are all for themselves. When was the last time you seen your local MP or even know their name? I know our local MP. Fucking useless. And our fucking local councillors. Okay, I'll say Levy about that. That's what it is. This good life for them. Keep reading. Hey, keep. It's about who is the least worst. To me, despite the problems and directions, Labour are still least worst. May not vote next time. And this is the state of the nation. Reform, come on. Nigel Farage, come on. And if they had an election next week, he'd win it. He'd be Prime Minister. But does that tell everyone? I'm no big fan of Diana, but she is one of few MPs who have the balls to stand on their convictions. I won't say anything. Sorry. But I don't like anyone skipping at it. And that's what they do. I don't like that. I don't like anyone skipping at anybody. But Diane has had so many fucking gaffes in the time. She couldn't add up at one point. When she was being into, I forget what it was over. And she couldn't quite grasp what it was. And he really had to go at it a few years ago. Well, anyway, boys and girls, that's me for the night. We've been through everything. We've been through wars, we've been through politics, we've been through not many of them, but everything really, football. Poor Frank Snacking. So it's all for me to say. Whoever's going to join me, I'll be on in the morning, filming TV reviews. Filming TV reviews. And I've watched some films. And some of them are fucking terrible. Keith Reedy. See you, Frank. Hello, Keith. See you, mate. That's nice. Like your shirt, by the way, on your profile. Cracking shirt. And I'll see you all on, for the people who are not seeing me in the morning, you about go to fucking bed. I'll see you Sunday for the watch along. Simon Abbott was one of the biggest race bait. Thank you. I'm glad you said it. On par with Lammy, Sadiq, Hunt, and some others. Glad you said it. Honestly, what Redbeard said there, Simon. Honestly, mate. See, Lammy, how the fuck is he where he is today? Fucking shocking. He was asked a question on Mastermind. No, I forget. Yeah, Mastermind, whatever. And I forget the question. And he said something about the fucking Romans, the pyramids, or something like that. And it was a simple fucking, I forget what it was. Christopher, my Frank and everyone enjoyed the title winning Reds this week. Enjoy the yeah. Yes, everyone will be happy. Just hope we fucking beat Palace, that's all. Let's go out with it. Because they're still having a go now, aren't they? 83 points won the league. Well, we fucking reached 83 points, you know what I mean? No one else did. But anyway, that's it. I'm going there, going to make myself a cup of tea. And also, I might have a round of toast. Or I might have some pasta. In fact, I think I will. Some pasta for Frank. Then I'll fall asleep. Thank you so much for joining me. It's been great. It really has. Whether you've enjoyed it, I don't know. Thank you so much. Try and like it, everyone. Just try and press a like. That's all. Get the algorithm up there. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow. If not Sunday. If not Tuesday. See you soon. Ci vediamo. Buonanotte.